Hi, so thank you so much for joining me today at our final session, which was really lovely. And I have to say, I've absolutely loved being part of this program. It's been amazing. You've really inspired me, and I've loved getting to know you. Just a little bit of a recap on today. It was really important to give you some tips we felt about presenting. So, when you get that opportunity to stand up and tell anyone about your business, that you can do it with confidence and clarity. This is your baby. This is your vision. And your passion. So, show that passion in anything that you do going forward, and which I'm absolutely sure you will. So, hopefully, there's some tips there. I particularly like the tips around the sort of breathing and practice. I think it's really important to make sure that you feel prepared. I'm always saying to people, practice and preparedness equals perfection. So that's kind of my mantra. And we know when we're ill prepared and we maybe just haven't done quite as much work as we should have. So when I say practice, what I really think you should do is maybe record yourself. And as cringy as it is, and it's embarrassing, it's just no one else is going to see this. So get the phone out, record yourself, and play it back. And actually, the more that you can do this, the better. It's like everything. The more you do it, the better you become. So have a look at some of the things that you're saying. Maybe have look at your eye contact. That's so important to engage with people. We really do need to master that, because actually, if we're looking here, if we're looking around, if we're maybe playing about or fixing our hair, it can be distracting. So slowly in the pace. It's quite good to get the shoulders straight, and this is something that you really do think has the ability to do well. So, this business proposition that you have. So tell your story with pride, and sit straight, arms, shoulders back, and tell people this story about you and your business. I hope you like the lighthouse technique. It's a nice one. I think it's so easy. If you're in a room with 10 people, it's quite easy if you're presenting to maybe fixate a little bit on, that person that's nodding and smiling. And then what you do is you kind of look at them and no one else in the room. I've been in situations before where I've done quite a bit of presenting, but I've done a little bit presenting in a room where there was 500 people. And I do remember just looking at the back of the room and fixating on a picture that was on the wall at the back of the room. And people don't feel like you're actually talking to them in that situation. So, a little bit eye contact here, not too much. So hopefully lots of tips there. One of the things that I really wanted you to do is, one, we have a task for you. So that's to think about your elevator pitch. So take what we've said today, and maybe you could write an elevator pitch and let us see it. So that would be quite nice, because sometimes it's about throwing this together and, at least bare bones, and looking at what you might say about yourself in terms of, what it is you do and and why people should be interested in you. So getting that on paper is usually, the first step, and some people find quite difficult. So get something on paper, really be thinking about, the flow, the structure, and then we'd be happy to have a look at that for you. So that's the elevator pitch, kind of, what might it look like, the structure and the content. What I would say is, after that, if you want, what you could do is, I've got a link to some great tips on elevator pitching. Also, I would quite like you to think about in the task maybe three hints that I've given you, three tips that I've given you to think about when you're doing your presentation. But I also want to chat about someone that I've had. I've been able to listen to their presentation, and there's so many people. I could tell you over 100 anyway, and great people that I've had the honor to listen to in a presentation, whether it's at my networking events, whether it's an event that I've gone to, whether it's a guest speaker at a Business Gateway event. And there's one particular speaker that has actually stood out for me in the last couple of years, and my work with Business Gateway West Lothian, and her name is Sarah Easton, and Sarah is incredible. She has a business called Bonnie Braids, and she's brilliant. So check her out, Bonnie Braids and Sarah. And I think Sarah is just very wholesome. I think she's very honest. She's incredibly inspiring. I love her story. She braids hair and, yeah, she's just incredible. So I've heard her story more than once. It's powerful and it's about, being resilient. It's about being persistent and it's about belief, self-belief. And I think she covers all of that so well and in such a genuine, authentic way. And I think presentations are always going to land with your audience and be memorable if you genuinely believe what you're saying, if you've truly practiced what it is that you want to say and the message you want to get across, and if you really engage with your audience. So hopefully there's some tips there, and there's been some today. And what honestly, check out Sarah. I think you'll get a lot from her, but she is just lovely and her story is very heartwarming. So bit there for you to think about. But I just kind of want to leave you with a final goodbye. I've absolutely loved getting to know you all. It's been incredible. You've inspired me and keep in touch. Good luck with your business and with everything else that you do. I wish you all the very best.